Welcome to the Mindset Makeover. During this unique show, hosts Lisa Berry and Michelle Carter accompany you on a journey of mindful thinking, true feeling, and clearing mind chatter, all to align you with deep answers and multiple possibilities that help you move forward and live in the now. You become present, clear, and unstuck, and able to live fully led by your heart. Michelle and Lisa invite you to listen and feel this transformation through vibration of word, sound, and song. Open up to what's possible and experience a shift.
Hello, hello, and welcome to the Mindset Makeover. What's possible? The show that shifts. I'm Lisa Berry.
And I'm Michelle Carter. Hello.
Hello, Michelle Carter.
Hello.
Happy Holiday Monday. It's holiday day.
Oh, yeah, it's holidays.
And it's funny how we actually have a holiday that ends the summer, so to speak, because everybody goes back to school tomorrow and all that good stuff.
Except for here in LA, kids have been back to school for 2 weeks, which is super weird.
Oh.
I never went to school in August. I think that's strange.
Oh. Okay, you know what? That is weird. I was just saying to you before the show how it's going to be strange walking my cats because Brinks doesn't like big school buses and everything, and so it's going to be funny. I didn't know you'd already had 2 weeks of it. Oh.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's always been like that here, but it is now. So, yeah, a lot of kids go back like August. I wouldn't be ready for that mentally as a child.
This is actually a perfect thing. We didn't plan this. I'm glad we're talking about this because this leads in nicely to what our topic is. And the topic, it's going to sound like a funny word at first, but it all makes sense in a minute. The topic is hobbies, as in like, what is your hobby? What is your interest? Like, what do you do? But it's so neat because I wonder if the kids in LA have gone back to school 2 weeks earlier because the kids are like, you guys have run out of hobbies and we need to get you back in school.
I don't think that'd be really funny if collectively they thought of that. I have no idea. Well, school ends way earlier, but imagine everyone's like, you know what? It was going to be September. We changed our mind. These kids are making me crazy. Go back to school.
Exactly. Like, everybody's run out of things. But it is neat.
Thousands of millions of kids.
I think it's really neat just even about our schedules. Like, so thinking about, there's school schedule, there's work schedule, there's summer vacation schedule, there's like all kinds of things. And really, it's so important that we carve out or, a lot of time or really set those boundaries of time to have personal hobbies. Like a hobby.
Absolutely. And I feel like a lot of people, I know hobbies. My life is a hobby. But I feel a lot of people as adults, like I watch my friends, and I was saying this to my mom actually last week. I go, Mom, I don't really know if I got the memo to start adulting because I notice so many of my friends, as people get older, people stop doing anything fun. And I'm not talking about like going out for brunch with your friends. I'm talking about just something specifically for you that may or may not be career related, because it's easy to go be like, okay, well, I'm going to go do this because that's going to generate income or whatever. But like, just do
that's different
because you love it. And I mean, I actually come from, my family are like super hobbies. Like my dad's a lawyer and then makes wooden bowls all the time on the weekend. He's the cutest person ever. And my mom is part of a painting group, and my brother's an artist. Like it's just so, we're pretty good at doing hobbies, but I've really noticed it with a lot of my friends that stop. I mean, not necessarily my ones in creative jobs, but I think.
But I love what you said. Actually, that it's not
things
related to your job and career. And I think that's where at first I was thinking, I have lots of, hobbies too. But then, and I really thought about, okay, Lisa, let's name them. And then when I thought, well, maybe my cats are my hobby. And I was like, no, because that's work. Because I still actually stick to a schedule. So really, I was like, okay, like what is a hobby? And so when I was thinking about a hobby, I was like, okay, let me define hobbies to myself. And I was like, okay, if I had a hobby, which I do, and I'll share it, but a hobby to me is like, there's no judgment. If I'm amazing at it, if I fail at it, if I make money or don't make money, I can't lose. Like, there's no winning or losing. There's no rejection. There's no status. I don't say, well, I'm the best at I get there's like, sometimes you can take a hobby to another level, but really a hobby is something that we do for pure pleasure and relaxation.
Yeah. That is so true, because I cannot say music's a hobby for me, because it's not. I mean, it's my job.
Right.
But I can't, it's hard for me to not, like, I rarely do. I mean, of course I play music and I love it, but it's not the same, because it's so true. Mm-hmm. Like, doing a hobby, you don't have that judgment. You're like, it doesn't matter if I suck. I'm just happy that I'm doing it.
Right. It's just like, and you know what? And then I thought of it. So like, okay, so if I, were to think about a hobby, and you think of when people ask you for the fun part of a resume, so now they know your education and where you've worked in the past, but then they say, what are your interests and hobbies, right? Like, that's a question. And so really a hobby is more about an interest, something not committed. Well, you're committed, but you're just, it's a interest. And then I thought about it when you're a little kid. You don't ask little kids, like, what is your interest and hobbies? You say to them, what games do you like to play? What do you like to do for fun?
Yeah.
And then I was diving deeper into that, of course, and I thought, okay, so when you watch a little kid, or you know of yourself as a little child playing, and you get lost in that world, and you're just, like, maybe you're playing marbles, maybe, I don't even know that's what I would do at high level, but we're playing this and that and being creative and imaginative, and really what the difference was, it was getting to know yourself and liking yourself.
Good. No, that's really good. That's such a beautiful way of saying that. It's interesting. Like, if I was an employer just picture me in a corporate job. I can't. But
I can't.
An employer, I know, not possible. But say if I would be far more interested. Say I'm reading someone's resume and going, I'm like, okay, you'd get to know the person if you're like, what do you do on the weekend? What are you interested in? That's the real person. It's so much more than your resume, like what books you like to read, what you like to do, if you like to read books or not, or do this.
Yeah.
Like, you find out so much more what people are interested in than just what they do. And some people that don't think they have hobbies, like maybe some of our listeners right now are listening going, I don't think I have a hobby. Everybody likes something. It can be baking. It can be reading. It can be so many things.
And they may not get to do it regularly, but maybe they should, or they could, or they want to, or they will, or it actually. We're actually going to talk about the benefits of having a hobby. But you know what? Actually, you don't know this, but the reason why this word hobby even came up, it's not even a word in my vocabulary generally. And I even know that there's big words called the hobby farm, hobby lobby, or something.
Hobby
like
lobby.
Massive.
I love Hobby Lobby.
Is that what it is? Okay, yeah. Like, you think of yarn and crafts and stuff like that. But
it's a craft store.
Playing golf. Yeah, craft store. So it can be really all those things. It can be playing dominoes. I'm suddenly into marbles and dominoes. I have no idea where this is coming from, but but the reason is that I was speaking with a lovely lady, and she was sharing with me about a friend of hers who is had gone through, or is going through, let's call it, a divorce. And my friend casually said the comment, she needs a hobby or something. She can't just keep going to work and then taking care of the kids. Like, she needs something to distract her. And then I thought, hobbies help you to heal, because it's not that you're just distracted. You're getting to know yourself again and like yourself after something that's been painful. And that's actually where the whole hobby thing is coming from.
You know what I just realized, which is nuts? Okay, it's Labor Day today, and we're talking about hobbies, because you may have already planned this out, but still, I'm just coming to realization how cool this is. Well, it's because Mike Solomon, who was a guest on the show a few months ago, he was, last night we were talking on the phone, and we were saying that we feel the fall is the new year. It always feels like the new year. And then you sign up for classes, and that's when you go back to school. And I took a lot, like, I took singing lessons and ballet and tap and jazz and all sorts of things. Sewing, I went to sewing camp. But, of course I did.
Registration.
Yes, and like, I get the things in the mail still, and like yesterday and the day before, I've got two different, they were like continued education things talking about like what the courses were, and I love reading through them, and I'm like, it's so exciting, like the fall, and it's so exciting because you can start something new, and again, it doesn't have to be anything you're good at, and maybe you didn't even know you're interested in it. Maybe it's like, I want to take this course. I didn't even know I wanted to do that, but I want to do it right now.
You know what? I took my dad. I was all, yeah, Dad, I really want that. Yes, that's what I want to do. And it was judo. So it was martial arts, me. And of course, I have to tell everybody this. So I'm such a girl. Like, I'm very girly. And back then, even when I was a little teeny tiny, my hair had to be perfect. So anyways, I came to my father after the second class and I said, Dad, this isn't going to work for me because they're making us do somersaults and I have a barrette in my hair and it hurts my head and I'm not going to take it out.
Oh, so cute and so Lisa.
So you just gave me a great idea. Okay, how about we say this? There are New Year's resolutions. This could be New Year registrations.
I love that.
It's so
good. I think
people
it's
make
so great
all the time.
Well, I think about a lot of things. Like when we met through a course, and I wanted to do. I signed up right in September. Around this time.
Yeah.
And the course started, and then that time I was taking 3 courses simultaneously, but they all, because I wanted, my hobby at that time was, a hobby can be personal development. It totally can. Like, that's something I wanted to do at that time. But I always get that feeling in fall. It's like, what can I learn new right now? And it doesn't mean like we have to stick with it either. I think that's where some people get stuck. It's like, oh, but what if I invest the time and money and what if I don't like it? Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. If you could just try it. You could be like, I don't like it. Like, I was in soccer as a kid, did not like it. My parents said I had to go. I had to stick out the season. Still didn't like it. I like the oranges and the Dairy Queen promise afterwards. But I did stick it out, but it wasn't terrible that I did soccer. It was just like, it wasn't really my thing, but I tried.
I love that you actually called it a personal development thing. That's amazing because you know what? That takes it right back to that's an adult term, right? Personal development. Mm-hmm. Let's bring it back to the original, like a child's language, getting to know yourself and like yourself, personal development.
Yay!
We go into our commercials. Yay! We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
PD days.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Join me, Maggie Chula, on Mondays at noon Eastern for Mastermind with Maggie. Let's work together in a mastermind. We can resolve life's problems and create goals for the future. Build action steps empowering you to create your life in partnership with your divine source of light, your soul. Manifesting your goals can be simple and easy, so come with your problems and leave with a plan. The Akashic Master Teachers and I are waiting to help you.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plotto and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey! The dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Okay, so we left off with PD days. That's personal development days, which, back to original language, is getting to know yourself and like yourself. And I think that's actually, I love when you come up with these things. I write them down. Of course, those are shocking. And the whole thing about when I was thinking, okay, so if a hobby as a child, I'm thinking of amusement parks, I'm thinking of going to camp, right? Because you go to camp and you learn all this kind of stuff. And what is it that's always at amusement parks and camps? Are songs and music and like carnival music at amusement parks, or like just really cool, like sing a song, let's get it going, let's get off. And that's where I wanted to tie in the music to our whole hobby theme today, is that I'm gonna share something. When I was thinking about hobbies, I thought, okay, if I need to get to know myself and I want to like myself, and I kind of felt like in not an ego kind of way, but a very like a little bit of pride. Like I have self-confidence. I have a little bit of pride about what I'm doing, that I'm carving out this time. And really it's about my identity. I'm getting to know myself. It's identity. And so this brings me to the root chakra and the sacral chakra. The sacral meaning like bringing into pleasure, like, amusement parks and pleasure and things like that. And the root is the identity. And so, Michelle, the root chakra is the note C, and the sacral is the note D as in dog. And I was wondering, just for fun, we can kind of build this in the last, for the rest of the show here. We don't have to do it this very second. But I was thinking, how when you sing, like, if you're happy and, clap your hands, clap, clap,
Mm-hmm.
They have a little song. I was thinking if we could like create, just by feeling what the listeners are going through right now about their hobbies, and they're searching their minds and their hearts, like, what's my hobby? What do I have, amusement in? What's my pleasure? Do I like myself? If there's a little song that we can come up with, like a little jingle, even if it's 2 little lines that is coming from our hearts, to really strengthen the root chakra. And by the way, the root chakra is L-A-M, lum, and the sacral is B-A-M, vom. So lum, vom. Can't really rhyme anything with those ones at the moment, but if we can squeeze those into our little song that we're going to create during the show, to help people who think, some people actually think they're not worthy of a hobby because they have too much to do. They have to give their time away to work, they give their time away to family, give their time away to somebody else. But I want all the listeners to really know that this is about them liking themselves, getting to themselves, but creating their identity and creating something pleasurable to do and fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just went on and on. Sorry. I was all excited. But yeah, even if we don't use we can just like we'll just come up with a lyric or two, like just to hum it or sing. We don't need the actual music, but because not everybody has that either. But something to do with just if they can even think of the note C, just to actually no. Our heart, the bowl is F.
The bowl is F sharp. That's heart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, we do want to love ourselves, but just to say, the really big things worth I really want people to hear about a hobby is identity. It's really neat because when you said like a resume, you're talking to people and you're asking them, what are your interests? What do you do? Like this is how we get to know someone else. And it's their identity. How will we recognize them? How is our energy recognize their energy? And if there's something in common. And I think that identity, when you came up with your hobby, like
little kid, but I just think it doesn't.
I just missed you. Can you repeat that? Because you totally got cut out.
Oh, I said it's really funny because I was like, I was like, I'm 38 and I'm committing to ballet, but I just don't care about being good or bad or anything. I just want to do it because it gives me joy and it's something active, and it's just, and it has this, like, I was telling my friend who's this incredible, she's Jade, if she'll ever be listening. Jade is an amazing ballet dancer, like seriously, prima ballerina. And I told her that I was doing all this again, and she was like super supportive. And what was the point of it though? Dun, 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 dun. What was the point?
People do differently. Hobby. I thought because you said you cut out.
Wow,
so you were talking to Mike, so I don't even know.
Oh, when I said I was talking to Mike, I already said what I was going to say. Just that it's really funny that fully committing. And anyway, she was so supportive of doing ballet again. She goes, well, who knows? Maybe you'll be best in class. I go, I strongly doubt that. But it didn't matter. The best part is that it doesn't matter. And when I was young, it really mattered. Like, I didn't like not being, because I've always had a love for dance, even though I'm not a natural dancer. Like, I'm not amazing by any means. But that's the definition of a hobby. Like, you can be amazing at it. It's great to be amazing. But it's just, you said this at the beginning of the show, it doesn't matter if you're amazing. It's really for personal
There's no judgment.
Joy.
There's no failing. Yeah, there's no rejection. There's no status. And that brings me to this even thought where it's like when we were saying about making a commitment, I don't even think, this is just my personal opinion, I don't even think it's important that you commit to a hobby. You either like it or you don't. And if you like something, you'll do it. But I do think you should commit to making time for yourself to do a hobby.
Oh, that's the thing I was going to say about commitment. That's funny. You just brought that back. That's exactly what I was going to say, because I've known Jade since I was 5 years old, and she's just kind of laughing at me because that's the joke, is that I commit. And who knows if I'm going to do it, how long, but it's like I commit. Like, I do get the outfit. I get the videos. I do this. I sign up for the class. And then, 6 months later, will I still be into it? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So I think it was exactly about that.
So here's a question: are you actually committing, or are you preparing?
I think
you're very prepared.
Preparing. I love having the scene around me. I like having the whole thing. Because I like acting the part type thing. You have everything, and then you feel exactly prepared.
Preparing.
I love having,
have a hobby. Well, so I'll share my hobby. My hobby, I don't even think you would know this about me. It's funny because I don't make the time, which now I want to make the time even more. But I used to do this all the time, and I prepared all the time. So what it is I love travel. I don't do it a lot, but when I say travel, I love watching, oh my gosh, House Hunters International is probably one of, I was addicted to it
that's
for
a good
so
show.
long. But I love the traveling, looking at different locations. So what I did back then, and I remember this is a long time ago for my birthday, I had to have this gift. I actually said to everybody, I don't care if I get 10 of them, because I need a 6-foot wall map of the world. I need it to be that was the most important painting or picture that I could have even ever had, and I needed it. So I had to have it. And I had a big one, and I had to have a small one, because what my hobby was is to watch a show or pick a location and then find it on the map, find out what was around it, what countries were around it, what bodies of water were around it, and then I could this was such a good hobby for me. And then I started really learning the parts of the world as if I had been there, because it felt like I had this relationship with this place. And that was my preparing for it. I want to have this food. If I was going to watch it, say it was on Morocco, I don't know, I would have Moroccan food. I want to look it up on the map. I want to wear the colors of the country.
So cute. I love that.
But
so
I love
awesome.
Preparing. Commitment and preparing.
You said preparing.
Yes, because I don't know if it's more about because I would. Some people think they're already overcommitted with their time, and preparing is different than commit, because maybe preparing means maybe you do a hobby once a month, maybe you do it once a week, maybe once a day. But some people really feel that at the end of their day or to start their day, they need to do something with their hobby, because that really relaxes them and de-stresses them. But I think as long as we say to ourselves, I'm worth it, and that we don't go into that. Yes. So it's about work.
That's exactly what it is. Because it's so easy to put everything in front of yourself. Everything. It's Mike and I were talking about this last night. We were talking about how
crazy
it's so easy. I know it seems to always happen. But we were talking on the phone for 2 hours, and it was all about. We were just saying that people don't make time for themselves, and it doesn't matter your age, and it doesn't matter. I understand families with young kids, or people with crazy cats, or all sorts of these commitments or crazy jobs, but you can carve out, when you think of, if there's 24 hours in a day, and you need to work at one point, and you need to sleep at one point, and eat and all that stuff. Even if you started with making 5 minutes for yourself, whatever it may be, it could be anything. Mm-hmm. It's giving that permission and kindness to yourself to be like, you know what, I'm worth this time. And then you start to notice that the time shows up and opportunities show up, and you get signs and signals all over the place supporting that. And then you're ultimately happier anyway if you're even taking a little bit of time for yourself.
I love that you just said supporting that, because as we said, the 2 chakras involved are root and sacral, and root is actually the support. Oh, so this is actually kind of fun. Oh my gosh, I love it. You just said 5 minutes. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm going to wrap all this up. Ready? It's a pretty little package. The root chakra is earth, and that's grounding. So if we can ground ourselves for 5 minutes and just offer ourselves support. So in that 5 minutes, this is everybody's homework. I'm giving them homework. I'm giving them their steps towards their hobby. 5 minutes of personal, I'm worth it time, of grounding, of putting your feet on the ground and the earth. Oh, did you have a thing? Did you just go?
No, I just love it. I'm listening.
You love it. Okay. And then this is where, okay, oh my gosh, here it is. Ready? I think, okay, if we were going to write the happy song, like if you're having, clap your hands kind of song, like a camp song, because this is our camp song. The root, okay, so so let's put some lyrics here. This is what I'm going to call upon Michelle. We're thinking grounding. We're thinking not worth yet. Sorry, that's sacral. So let's just ground. It's identity. Okay, so I am. Oh, I am. Okay, so let's use the word I am. Oh, we have music. Oh my God, that's a surprise. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the C chord, so we can start with C because you said it's C, right?
Yes.
Campfire guitar.
Oh my God, I love this. Okay, I love it. Okay, so the I am worth. Okay, no, it's not worth yet. We can't do it worth yet. I am fun to be with. I am fun to be with, right? So, yeah. I am fun to be with. That. Okay, I like that. I am fun to be with. Now, L-A-M, but we pronounce it lum, is our sound. I am fun to be with. What about identity? That's I am, though. I am fun to be with. This is very rooty. This is like we're grounding. This is earth. I am fun to be with. I am present. Because we don't want to be in the future thinking about what we need to do in 5 minutes. How about that? I am fun to be with. Mm-hmm. I am. I'm writing this down.
And now we're going, and we'll be back, and we'll have a little song for you.
Oh, there's more guitar. I was like, well, that's not fancy.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Every Tuesday on Living with Moxie, join Shefali Burns and Donna Martouge in conversations designed to take you to the next level, where we highlight ideas, resources, and strategies that provide you with the leverage you require to meet and exceed your business and personal goals. Each week on Living with Moxie, we will lead conversations related to success, achievement, fulfillment, and extraordinary, vibrant living. Are you ready to live with Moxie? Join us.
There is no death, only a change of worlds. Chief Seattle. Deborah Livingston is an award-winning intuitive psychic medium whose international services include mediumship, spiritual assessment, animal communication, and spiritual mentoring. She is a published author and a trained shaman. Deborah provides evidential messages from spirit and departed loved ones. Learn more at deblivemedium.com. That's DEBLIV medium.com.
Me, a cat, moving in with a new human. It took a little getting used to. She has these weird games she likes to play, like this giant feather. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. It's almost like she thinks I enjoy it. But seeing how much fun she gets out of it, well, I guess it makes it all worth it. Humans.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Okay, Michelle and I have been busy. We've been busy over the commercial break. And I think we can give our root chakra campfire song, or I love that, a try.
Campfire song.
With these. Okay.
Are we staying on C?
2 lines. Yes, please. Let's definitely stay on C. We really want. And so, just for everybody to know, the LAM word for the root chakra, it's not lamb. I would like to say lamb because I love lambs, but it's lum. So that's what Michelle's going to be singing is lum, and it's going to be I am ready to expand. Now I'm making you sing.
So listeners, I did not know this was happening.
Because we always do everything in the moment. This is our hobby.
Yeah, that's our hobby. Our hobby is right now. Okay, so let's see what melody is going to come up. Are you going to sing with me? Well, I guess we don't know the melody.
Yeah, once we get the melody,
I'm ready. Okay, let's see what happens. I feel like I'm in preschool right now, but it's great. I am ready to expand. I'm laughing. So I'm ready to expand. I am fun. Lum, lum. Oh, that rhymes. I didn't even realize that. I am ready to expand. I am fun. Lum, lum, lum.
I love it.
I don't know, gang.
No. Okay, so this is the fun part about it. Everybody right now, if you think about really when you go to camp, and this is what we do, we all learn the song together, we kind of do our thing, but I am ready to expand. And then you said I am fun, really neat.
Oh, I am fun.
Ooh.
Lum, 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 lum.
I like it. Okay, see, my root chakra already feels, see, we're fun, we're laughing, this is fun. I feel fun. I feel like I'm ready for my hobby.
And you know what's perfect about this? That this was sprung, doesn't have to be perfect. And we talked about not being perfect.
This is songwriting at its finest.
I don't know about finest, but it's definitely
But you know,
actually, for our listeners, for anyone to write us, this is a great idea. If you want to come up with any little campfire song, a couple lines. So we had, I am ready to expand, I am fun, lum, lum, lum. If anyone wants to sing us, you can send us a little voice memo, you can send us a little email, and we can turn this into a real song. And maybe somebody actually has some words that they have that they think would be great about expanding, giving yourself time, and we'll totally put it into a real song. And give you
so everybody, to think identity and root chakra, and this will be our first, are you ready for this? A globally, internationally written hobby song. Oh, and we can even have, we have a song for our New Year's registration day. Like, this is perfect. This is, yes. So everybody, I think a collective, we'll call it the collective New Year's registration day song. I love it. It's a long name for a song.
It's a long name. But, just write us at 432-SHIFT. Did I just say that right? 432shift.com. And anything that you feel that could be great in a little song about giving yourself permission to take time and just be you. And we will have a real song about that. So,
yes.
A real little coachable moment.
Because the root chakra was that first part where, like what you said, we take those 5 minutes. We say that I'm grounding myself. I'm present on this earth to do it. But then we move into, now we're seeking pleasure, and that's in the sacral chakra. Now that's D, and that really is so cute because it's about sweetness, but it's a water, and it's
really weird you said sweetness.
Water.
Oh. D is a very sweet sound.
Oh, it does sound sweet. I like D. And this is a pleasure seeking. So now that we're grounded, now we can seek pleasure. And this is where it's V-A-M, VUM. And this is that, so instead of lum, 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 we could say vum, 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 like vroom, vroom, vroom. But now we are in the water, though. So this is thinking water, seeking pleasure. This is the sweetness. This is the relationship with self, and that I'm worth it kind of thing. Like that's it could be, I like myself. I'm worth having fun. I like having fun. So we're, again, inviting everybody to write us in with those some things. But does C and D go well? I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, C and D go really well.
Ah.
Yeah, they sound really pretty. So this is D.
I can just listen to it.
Yeah, so anybody just write us. You can write us anything that you think goes with, doesn't have to rhyme, doesn't really matter. All that matters is that it's something that makes you feel, giving yourself permission to have a hobby, to have fun. It doesn't need to, anything that feels good. Write us, 432-SHIFT, and we will put it in a song.
I love that, the request. This is the request, the lyric request line. I love that. You know what's really funny about the sweetness, how you just said that, is when I go back to thinking when the woman said she needs a hobby, and I was thinking, hobbies heal. If I were to think about, is there ever a time where I thought, you know what, I just got to pick myself up. I got to get out there, got to do something. And then you look for a group that's doing something you might enjoy because people around you, because it's support, right? Like support within your hobby. And right now when there's some tricky stuff going on all the time in our world and our lives, but that, I wonder, I'm trying to think right now, is there a hobby that I picked up at one point? I mean, I am attracted to getting coached. So I'm like, what can I get coached on? Who can coach me something? And then I feel that that's my hobby. but I think
that totally can be a hobby because, some of us do have, I go under the category of classic hobbies, like, taking a jewelry making course or ballet or like they're classic hobbies. But I think doing, self-develvelopment, like we said earlier, that's totally can go under hobby. Why not?
Right. And, crystals, like if you think about the crystals, that, looking at just going in and, oh my gosh, I used to love just picking up stones from people's driveways or the ground, or just looking at them and thinking I found this precious jewel, because it had a little pretty stripe of quartz through it or something. And that used to be a hobby there as well. So I see what you're saying. It doesn't have to be an organized activity.
That absolutely is a hobby. That's totally a hobby.
Yeah, and lots of people even go, speaking of the sacral chakra being water, the water element, a lot of people, as their quote-unquote hobby, could be walking along the beach and just picking things, like, you know what I mean, when you find all kinds of stuff on the ground and the beach there and looking to the water or imagining doing that. So actually, it's funny, when you go to the beach, because you live right by the oceans, lots of good water for you everywhere, do you typically just go to swim, or are you hanging out doing something?
I go to swim. I'm not a very good sitter, so I try to, when people just lay on the beach, I try to do that,
right.
But it doesn't, I usually go, I'm more of an activity person. So I love swimming, but swimming, that's a hobby. That goes under a category. Yeah. So usually when I go, I swim, but I definitely love the beach, or walk around if it's colder. It's if it's colder, of course, my mom and I, last week, I was up on the island and we went for a beautiful walk along the beach when the tide was out, and it was just gorgeous, just enjoying the beauty of the ocean and the trees and the smells, and it was wonderful.
Because again, colors really play a part of the hobby. When you think about preparing, it's like you're setting that scene, you're having all those things that will support yourself around that, and just going back again to that healing aspect, always going back to the healing. Because when we're little, I think we're trying to get to know ourselves. We're learning our identity. We're finding out who else shares that same love or passion or pleasure kind of thing. And then as adults, when we're doing this, it's a healing part to say that it's the healing. It's kind of in the lower chakras, below the heart, because we need that expression to be open to enjoy the hobby, whatever. But it's all the lower chakras that really are about that self-worth, self-thing. So if someone out there is feeling kind of disconnected from themselves. This isn't about somebody else. This isn't about you and somebody else. This is truly, truly about you. If you just kind of have a lackluster feeling about life. I'm trying to think of what are the ways. I wonder if they just listen to the note D. If you were strumming that, I wonder if that actually just makes somebody feel that vibration. It kind of wakes that up. It kind of works on healing that part of them. Yeah. It's so funny when I hear that. It makes me think of memories.
And that's the great thing about music. It's going to make everybody feel something differently. Sometimes someone can hear a note and it irks them, and then someone else is like, "Oh, that takes me back to 1992." It's just music and smell are the power. They're so powerful. They really take you back, or they take you somewhere. That's why we do what we do with music, because it really does take you somewhere. And everyone has such a different experience with it.
That is so
when you're stuck, because it is hard to think of a hobby when you're stuck, because, when you feel that, you're like, but that might be the best time to do it. Like when, say, and I mean, I totally know this, say you're at a place that you need a new job, or you need, you know, there's something going on that's a pretty major crisis. And then if it seems like the weirdest time to do like a quote unquote hobby, but if you did anything that gave you a little bit of joy, because we don't do hobbies out of shoulds and have tos, because there is no have to. There is no shoulds with a hobby, because it's just doing. So if you found anything, even in that really dark time, be it reading a novel that makes you happy, or anything, that something that gives you joy, that will shift that moment, even though that seems like the least likely place to do that. I think that's sometimes the most important times to do that, when we're feeling our lowest, just to find, even if it's for 2 minutes, to find something that gives you joy. And we've talked a lot about that in other shows, is finding that joy spot. And this happens to be hobbies, but hobbies are so subjective. Like, it can be anything.
I like that you said that. Sometimes it's I love that you brought that entire thing was perfectly said, because a lot of times people are in their darkest moments. And that is the most important time, because we mentioned this on a couple shows before. When you're stressed, you can't make decisions. And so, of course, if you're stressed and you're in that tough spot and you're like, hobby, I'm not even thinking of a hobby, and you can't make a decision because it's like, so to find that moment. And you know what? I think you just helped me connect with something, because I was thinking how hobby, even okay, I'm holding everybody in suspense because I just had a breakthrough, which I will share when we get back.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Circle of Hearts Radio is a sanctuary on the airwaves. Join me, Grandmother Elia, in the circle on Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern as I share information to both enlighten and nourish your soul.
Mother, Mother Ocean.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Buffett. West Indian manatees are one of the most unique animals on Earth, and we're still finding out so many new things about them. But manatees are endangered, and many of them are killed or injured each year because of watercraft collisions or other human activities. You can help save these gentle marine mammals. For free tips on what you can do, call Save the Manatee Club at 1-800-432-JOIN. Thank you.
Okay, back to my breakthrough. The breakthrough I was actually thinking is, because I shared with everybody that traveling was my hobby, even if I couldn't go, which of course that really helps out for people like myself. Even at time I don't have the money or the time or just the flexibility or ability to be flying all over the place. So these are my summer vacations, we'll call them. And so the past week or so, I have driven more than I have ever driven, I think, this entire year.
Oh, yeah.
And like a lot of driving. However, I mean, I love my car. She's an old car, but she's such a good friend of mine. And she just did so well in driving. But I was driving by myself, and I so enjoyed it. I could say, and now I'm realizing that, of course, I enjoyed it because it was like living out my hobby. If my hobby was to travel and look at all these different, that's because I literally the other day was in my car for 7.5 hours. I only got up to pee twice, and so it was like getting to do my hobby, and I was just so thankful to be in there. And really what was so exciting was, as I was driving, I was looking at something different all the time, something new, something change, like the scenery was continuously changing. I mean, the sky, oh my gosh, I got to see every animal that I could. Remember the exciting time I was talking to you, Michelle? And it's like, I think I've seen every farm animal or any animal.
It was so cute. It was so cute. And then you watched the turkey.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about even the turkey, but I did not put that I would see the, it's not a llama. What did I see? Oh my goodness.
I can't
remember. Was a llama.
Was it a llama?
Yes.
Was a llama, I think.
Oh my goodness. It was a llama. And I was screaming because I was like, I think I've seen every animal, and then all of a sudden a llama shows up. And then, before you're right, I saw wild turkey, and I had to wait for it to cross the road. It was taking forever. But my whole point about this is that I think that's why I was gaining so much pleasure. It was true amusement. It was pleasure. It was enjoyable. It was time getting to realize what makes me happy, because every time I saw a different cloud in the sky, the formation, or a different hill, or, every time I went over a little bump and it went, woo, or the animals. And I really enjoyed my time, and it was just me by myself. And I think now I even get what was even more important to me, and why it was so, even though I was in the car for a long time, it was really rejuvenating to me, because I got to do a hobby, and I was healing whatever I need to heal, just as I became that connected with my identity and what gave me pleasure, and really enjoyed my time with myself. It was really fun. That was my big aha moment.
That's so wonderful, though, like that because that could have, some people could go on that drive and be like, oh, I can't believe I have to drive 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is. But because it's one of the things you love to do, it became a very enjoyable experience. And, it's the same for some people that, say, like working out, which is something that I'm not like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go to the gym and work out. Like, I can't even imagine that being on my radar. But for some people, that's like, they love it. Yeah. They like, that's what they want to do. Like, it's not a chore to them. It's like, this is awesome. So a lot of people like that. So it's just that whole thing of that, like we were just talking about with music, everything's so subjective, because in the trash and treasure and the torture and reward, like, everybody has such a different way of how they perceive it. So it really just has to be something. All that matters, your radar inside tells you, I like this. And then that you're doing something good.
You actually just now
you feel good while you're doing it.
Cool thing is that you were just talking about how going to the gym, and something about going to the gym is, squeezing the muscles and really get your body, your physical. See, remember I said it was all about the chakras that are lower than the heart, so very physical, like on this plane kind of space. Now, one of the fun, just this came to mind. A lot of the time, people, men and women, both love going to the spa. And when I say spa, I really mean like an on-scene, like a big spa where they're going to the saunas and they're sweating. And to really think about it that way, they're clearing. They have stagnant energy and physical stuff going on, that as you do a hobby, maybe it is going and clearing. It's a clear, like maybe your hobby has something to do with clearing. So some people might play golf, and this is like a focus thing. They have to actually, whatever, maybe they play cards and they have to count or, do those things. So basically, if you can shut off the rest of the world to be very present, to be very focused, to be not just distracted, but really truly clear. Like I think of right now, my whole body is going into that mode of, okay, I'm at the gym and I'm using my muscles, and I'm like squeezing. It's like I'm squeezing all the negativity out, all the stress right out. Or if I'm in the spa and I'm going to the sauna and I'm sweating, I'm just clearing my body and cleansing that out. Or if I was playing cards or something, then I'm using my brain and not letting all the thoughts that are normally in my mind, maybe they're mind chatter, maybe they're judgmental, and I'm just doing that one thing. And I think that's why hobbies have become, in my world in the past couple of days, I really want to start thinking about what are the hobbies that I really enjoy, and when's the last time I did them, and how good did I feel about them. And I think the song that we started writing and are about to write with all of the listeners' help will be a fun thing to get everybody just reminding them, and to bring them into that moment, like an entrance, like a wedding march, the song announces the bride and it's starting. And so the song will be really helpful to say, all right, hobbies are about to begin, or hobbies are on the radar today.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just like we bring it back to the beginning is giving yourself permission to take that time. And you're very, very right about being present. And because if I think about, like, say my dad making wooden bowls, there's like a lot of machinery going on, and it is kind of scary. Like, but if he is thinking about work on Tuesday while he's doing that, he could actually get hurt because there's so much, like, in any type of woodworking thing, there's a lot going on. You have to be present. And it's the same when you're, it could be dance, it could be anything. You can get injured if you're not present, it sort of forces you to be present in that moment. And especially if it's added with joy, you're going to be present because you want to be there. No one's telling you have to be there. And the beauty about doing hobbies when you're an adult, you're choosing to do this. It's not like being forced to be in soccer. I wasn't forced, but it's a choice. It's not just being put into it. You're choosing to be there.
You know what? You just reminded me, oh my gosh, of the best feeling ever. I'm so excited that you said this. When you said about wooden bowls, when I was a little girl, my mother had a very close friend who did ceramics. Now, her name was Shelley. Oh my gosh, she made the most incredible ceramics. Like, they were perfect. They were beautiful. They were good. However, there are lots of people, and I've received, who, we aren't so great at them, but we do them. But guess what? Have you ever, think of all the times where you've received a homemade gift because it has been a craft or a hobby or something, and it's not perfect, but you're so happy it's not perfect because you look at it and go, look at that little, what is that supposed to be, a face? But you actually can feel the joy that somebody else had making it for you, and you love having it, like a Christmas tree ornament that somebody made.
Oh, yeah. So I love homemade gifts. They're the best.
And you never judge it. You never judge it if it has, like, the stitches over here or that. And I was thinking about when guys and girls, like, working on cars, when you were saying about being focused and everything. It's just that you so reminded me of that whole pottery, it was reminding me about ceramics and things, because I have so many things that I've made as a child and growing up that are so beyond not perfect. They're, like, funny. And I love them because it does remind me that I did something. I didn't care how it turned out. And then if I were to give it, or if I were to receive it, you can feel the amusement, you can feel the pleasure, you can feel the fun and the love right in that object.
And on the flip side of that, you might not even know that you're super good. Like my dad, he's always been amazing at woodwork, but he makes these bowls. Like, on the flip side, you might be like, whoa, you're crazy amazing at something. Like, that you didn't even know you were amazing until you did it. So it's supposed to, either way, it's great if they're not great, but it's also great. Like my dad's bowls are they're ridiculous. They're incredible. He's like an amazing woodworker. He doesn't just make bowls. He makes all sorts of stuff, but he's really, like, astonishingly amazing at it. So I'm saying sometimes people, you might not even know that you have a hidden talent down in there. If you're interested in doing it, maybe you're awesome at it. Like, who knows? Maybe you suck, maybe you're awesome, but maybe you're somewhere in between. But if it gives you joy, chances of you getting better and better are pretty high because you're going to work at it. And we really are capable of doing everything if we put time and energy into it.
You just remind me, so you mentioned that your dad makes other things other than bowls. The first retreat that you and I went on, you had with you a wooden pen out of rosewood that your father made and gave to you, and you left it accidentally at the thing, and I picked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, she cannot lose this. I mean, in my world, of course, my mind thinking you only had this one pen. It was very special. You've had it for 80 years, But
it is very special.
Well, yes, it was, and I kept it. I was like, I will see her one day. I don't know when we'll fly to the same country again, but I'm going to hang on to it or I'll send it. But it's so funny because you can, as you said, some people can be so, you know what? Okay, I'm going to actually say this, right? I'm actually letting everybody know so that I do want to be held a little bit of accountable to this. I always wanted to do stained glass.
Love stained glass.
I need
to do it.
Remember. Yes, because I actually think, I could hire somebody. Because I do know when I was little, we used to make them at Christmas time, and you put these beads of something in a frame, like a cookie cutter almost, and then you bake it in the oven. That's how you made it a little thing. And I have a cat. Of course, I have a cat that I made out of stained glass when I was little. But I don't know if it's done the same way for like adults in the big world. But you know what? I'm letting everybody know right now. I'm actually going to put a little bit of a timeline because this is September, right? I'm going to register. I'm going to register myself for a stained glass making course or day or whatever, like just to go try it for one time.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm gonna do it before Christmas. That's my thing. It's September, so I have till December. Oh my gosh, we can put pictures up of it.
So
okay, and
awesome.
You're doing ballet. So would you like to do?
My current thing is ballet. Okay. Well, ballet is a pretty big one, and also, I always want. I say this every year that I'm going to do a pottery course. So maybe, but I'm not sure. I still want to do it.
Okay.
I always want to do everything, but the thing is, I do a lot of hobbies.
Okay. So everybody, please. But wait, 432shift.com. Any words, one word, a sentence, a line, and we will write it into a song and then have that for you guys. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Yay, stained glass. I'm excited about that.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye.